Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Vritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. The 17th Adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the yoga of the threefold Shraddha. And Sri Krishna is telling us, addressing to that question of Arjuna, that how when somebody not performing anything as prescribed by the scriptures, if he does it with wholehearted Shraddha, does that activity come under the category of sattva, rajasa or tamas? And Sri Krishna tells that, my dear fellow, even the Shraddha that one begets as a result of the past karmas, whatever is the inherent nature of all the beings, based on the inherent nature, the Shraddha is produced in the next birth. Type of that nature, if it is Sattvika, then Sattvika Shraddha. If it is Rajasic, Rajasic Shraddha. If it is Tamasic, then Tamasic Shraddha. And again now, depending on the type of Shraddha that each being begets at the new birth, they start performing all the activities under that spell, under that spirit, with that intention. Then Sri Krishna had told us about how these different types of people, the Sattvika, the Rajasic and the Tamasic, they worship different kind of deities for that matter. The Sattvika will worship the gods and goddesses and all the purest of the pure deities. The Rajasika, they will worship the Yakshas and the Rakshasas, those who are always intent on playing mischief or troublemakers and that kind of deities. And the Tamasic, they will worship none of these two, neither the purest of the pure nor the pure or impure, but only the impure. And they worship those in the categories of dead bodies and the ghosts and the spirits, evil spirits for that matter. Even in spirits, it is not a sanctifying spirit or a purifying spirit. It is only the evil spirit, the wrongdoers, the troublemakers, the destructors for that matter. So that is the type of worship they start following. And even then Sri Krishna told us in the 5th Shloka, he had started telling us about one category of people, one type of people who start performing austerities, not as per the scriptural injunctions. He told us that these austerities are not as per the doctrines laid down in the Shastras. These are the ashastra vihitam. These austerities are ghoram. These are terrible in nature. These are torturous. Ghoram. So these ashastra vihitam ghoram tapyante ye tapojanaha. These type of people, they perform such austerities which are terrible in nature, which are torturous in nature, and which are not confining to the scriptural injunctions. And then their intent, These activities, these austerities are performed in all hypocritic manner. Damba ahankara sanyuktaha. These austerities are as if they are filled with all the hypocritical practices and the pride, arrogance with which these are undertaken. I am doing it. And kamaraka balanvita. And these kind of torturous activities, they are powered by what? What is the source of motivation for undertaking these terrible austerities? The motivation, the power behind this is raga and kama and raga, the lust and greed. With this intent, this category of people is performing these activities which are not ascribed, which are not enjoined by any scriptures. Now we very well, we can get an inkling as to which type of people Sri Krishna is referring to. Let us see in the 6th shloka, Sri Krishna makes it absolutely clear what are these type of people they are performing these activities. Now, again, the Sri Krishna throws some more light upon the type of activities, type of austerities for that matter. Now, Sri Krishna in these 2 shloka, he is talking about only the tapa. These are not other activities like worship or performing yajna or sacrifices or giving alms. These activities not covered here. These are only the austerities. And these austerities, they are terrible in nature. These austerities, they are not ascribed by any scriptural injunction. They are filled with the hypocrisy and the arrogance and the pride and egotism, and their motive of performing these activities is nothing but lust and greed, the kama and raga. So in the 6th shloka, Sri Krishna further tells us about the activities being carried out by this category of people. Karṣayantaḥ śarīrasthaṃ bhūtagrāmamacetasaḥ mam caivāntaḥśarīrasthaṃ tānviddhyāsuraniścayān. Krishna says these people, they will perform the activities which will bring so much of a discomfort to their physical bodies. Karṣayantaḥ śarīrasthaṃ. This physical body of theirs is put to so much of torture. Karṣayantaḥ. The practice is not easy. They will perform it in most torturous manner. And as a result, they are not at all comfortable. There is nothing but pain, there is nothing but grief while performing these activities because the position is so very pathetic. Karṣayantaḥ śarīrasthaṃ bhūtagrāmamacetasaḥ. Bhūtagramam is all the elements of the body. All the elements of the body, as if they turn acetasaḥ, they turn senseless. All the organs of the body, all the senses of the body, the entire body as such, it becomes kind of a senseless. It is so much torture. As a result, mam caivāntaḥśarīrasthaṃ tānviddhyāsuraniścayān. Mam cha eva antaḥśarīrasthaṃ. With that kind of torture, even I who am dwelling in their body, even I who am dwelling in their heart, I am tortured, Sri Krishna says. Now, that Jivatman basically is, Jivatman has got nothing to do with joy and sorrow or pleasure and pain, isn't it? Jivatman is supposed to be beyond that. But in order to experience the creation of the Lord, of the Prakriti, Jivatman has taken shelter in this body. So the body being at such a precarious condition, the body being in such a terrible condition, how can the one indwelling can be at peace? How can be the one indwelling whose inherent nature is absolute bliss? Anandam is the nature. But that indweller is not in that situation to enjoy that eternal absolute bliss. that fellow is also tortured. So Sri Krishna says, even I who am sitting there inside, Mam cha eva antaḥ śarīrasthaṃ, who is indwelling inside, even I am also put to such a great torture. These people, they don't understand. And then, who can these people be? Now Sri Krishna defines these people. Actually names them now. What are these types of people? Tānviddhyāsuraniścayān. That know for sure that these type of people who perform all these terrible practices with the intention of enjoying lust and greed as the motive. These practices which are performed under all hypocrisy and with arrogance, not in a comfortable position at all, and putting the bodies in a torturous situation. Even I dwelling inside, I am put to torture. Seeing this body in torture, how can the indweller inside be happy? How can the indweller inside be at bliss when the indweller is observing this body to be so much under pain, so much under torture? So Sri Krishna says, know for sure that people who conduct such kind of austerities, they are tānviddhyāsuraniścayān. They are of the deminical resolve. They can never come up in their lives. They can never seek the path of liberation. They have to be in this hell all the lives to come. So this is what Sri Krishna has told us in the 5th and 6th shlokas of this 17th adhyaya. The austerities practiced by the Asurika people are in no way pleasing to themselves. These practices, they are neither pleasing to themselves nor they are pleasant to look at by if somebody is seeing them. Now, there is a thing that the first few guidelines as per Patanjali Yoga Sutra is you should make a comfortable position, the asana that you get into. To start with your yoga, that should be comfortable. You should not be at pain. You should not feel discomfort in that asana. That is the one of the foremost instructions in undertaking the yogic austerities as per the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. But here, the advent is not on comfort at all. Advent is on the torture. And why the torture? Because the intent is not pure. It is all the impure intent with which these kind of torturous activities, austerities are being taken up. Like the Hatha Yoga. The practices in the Hatha Yoga can be so torturous. But when those practices in the Hatha Yoga are taken up with the pure intent, when the practices in the Hatha Yoga are taken up with the divine intent, with the intention of knowing the self, for the Atma-jnana, for the Brahma-jnana, then they can never become painful. Then the rishi, the seer, the yogi may stand on one foot for years together. There won't be any pain, there won't be any discomfort, because the body has been handed over to the self, to the Paramatman, to the Parabrahman. It is his outlook. But here the deminical oriented people, their intent is not at all pure, not at all the intention, the motive of performing the austerities is not at all to seek the self, not that Atma-jnana. Their motive is kama and raga. Their motive is lust and greed. With that motive they start. And any activity taken up with that motive, any activity which is taken up in a hypocritical manner with the arrogance and pride and egotistic nature, that can never get one into a comfortable position. The 5 minutes you sit in that particular position, you start feeling pain. It is uncomfortable. And uncomfortable not only for that person, himself or herself, but even for those who are looking at them, and then they say, my God, what is this fellow up to? Why he's torturing himself? So that is what happens. When the Asuri type of people, when the demonical type of people try to undertake such kind of hatha yogic practices of torturing the physical self. Bare-bodied, they lie on spikes. While keeping one hand always lifted up, they try to stand on one leg only, hoping to acquire mystic powers thereby. And what will they do using this, acquiring these mystic powers? They want to use these mystic powers to fulfill their lust and greed. That is unfortunately the intent of these demonical type of people. Their attempts are as much painful to the beholders as to the performers themselves. The performers are definitely in pain, but even the onlookers who are looking at them, they are also not in a comfortable position. The Lord residing in the heart as conscience is denied by these demonic people. First of all, this demonic type of people, they don't accept. They don't accept the idea, they don't accept the concept of the divinity within or the divinity outside. So they, in a way, by rejecting the divine inside, they are inflicting pain on that divinity inside. He who is beyond happiness and misery seems to be subjected to misery at the hands of these cruel people. They are in so much of darkness. They fail to see the light within. They fail to see that divine principle which is there within their grasp. They fail to see this and even accept the fact that this same divine principle is occupying each and every being in this creation. It is indwelling in each and every being of this creation. And since they reject this idea, since they reject this concept at all, that poor indweller has got so much of pain. Their so-called self-culture is in no way in tune with the path followed by the holy men. They have created their own ideas, their own kind of behavioral patterns. I will behave in this way. I will do this. This is what I am going to do. They are not bothered about the welfare of others. They are not bothered about the feelings of the others. They are not bothered about even the any betterment of others. They only want betterment of their own selves in terms of enjoying the lust and greed. They seem to be endowed with Shraddha, but actually their practices are derogatory. And Sri Krishna says, they also have a Shraddha, yes. Such demonical people also have a Shraddha, but their Shraddha also is of that level. Their Shraddha is also of that immature level. Their Shraddha is also of that impure level. And therefore Sri Krishna says, my dear friend, Arjuna, even Shraddha is of three types. Don't think that anyone who is performing anything with Shraddha is bound to do it in a good way, is bound to do it in the purest of the pure way. It doesn't happen. Because after all, it is the inherent nature of a being which begets what type of Shraddha is going to merge out. Depending on the type of seed that plant is going to grow. The mango seed is not going to give you a jackfruit plant. The mango seed will only give you mango tree. The mustard seed will only give you mustard seed. The banyan seed, although so tiny, will always give that mighty, huge Vatavruksha. So this is what happens that even with the Shraddha. So Sri Krishna says, this is how these people perform the austerities. Even they may perform austerities, but their intent is never pure. Their intent is never good. Their intent is never holy or pious. Their intent is only the lust and greed, and therefore they use all such ill practices. They get into performing all these torturous activities. All the torturous activities, which is neither good for them, nor good for others, nor good for the indweller inside. So Sri Krishna is again telling us that beware of that. I mean, all these Asuri type of people also, they have their own Shraddha, fine. But that doesn't mean that that Shraddha is conducive for their good, for the good of others. So that is the unfortunate scenario as far as the Asuri austerities are concerned. Now Sri Krishna also in subsequent verses going to tell us about the type of foods that these different types of categories of people with different Shraddhas, with different inherent natures, what different types of foods they do, they consume. What are the different types of foods as such basically, which is so much necessary, so much critical for carrying this body further. So that Sri Krishna is going to tell us in the next few verses. Then Sri Krishna is also going to tell us about the nature of the alms giving. How these three different categories of people, how they differ in their objective and the way of giving alms, the way of giving gifts, the way of giving dana. So that as and when it comes, we'll take it up for the reading of this 17th Adhyaya. Till then, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.